The Super Sleuth just got spoofed. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Sherlock Holmes parodies. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've gathered the funniest, cleverest, and most popular parodies of Arthur Conan Doyle's celebrated detective. Holmes does have a long history with the printed pastiche, but we're focusing on film and TV parodies today, as well as viral clips and YouTube favourites. Number 10, Elementary, Dear Data, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
In which I will play Sherlock Holmes, and Lieutenant LaForge will be Dr. John Watson.
Holmes has been given the sci-fi treatment a fair few times, but here we head to the holodeck on the Starship Enterprise. This Next Generation episode sees Brent Spiner's Commander Data take the central role in a Sherlock-style mystery, which ultimately gets quite out of hand.
Is that not the very definition of deduction? Is that not the way Sherlock Holmes worked?
With LaForge doubling up as Watson, the crew are caught amidst a Victorian England virtual reality, with a certain Moriarty proving a worthy menace to be reckoned with. Even Data's stumped at times, but at least he looks the part.
And now, for strictly personal reasons, I must leave. Come, Watson!
Number 9, Sherlock Hemlock, Sesame Street.
Tut tut, my boy, no elaborate reward is necessary. Simply return my baseball.
While Holmes' often grisly assignments are rarely child-friendly, the character is a staple archetype for the clue-counting, puzzle-solving, super-smart detective role on children's TV.
Already? I know what to call this case. What? The case of the broken window.
Special mention to Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century, a fave show for many 90s kids, but Sesame Street's Sherlock Hemlock turns the parody into preschool puppetry and slightly skews the stereotype as well. The overconfident Hemlock usually cracks the case, but there are often hiccups along the way. All in the name of education, of course.
Let go of me, Watson! We must think!
Number 8, Watson Caught Out, Williams and Friend.
Hello, Sherlock. You're back early.
We all know Sherlock's powers of deduction are second to none, but what if they're applied to something other than a complicated crime scene? When David Williams' Watson is unexpectedly interrupted for this comedy sketch, Jack Whitehall's Holmes just won't let the matter drop.
The sheet music has been removed from my violin stand and replaced with a copy of the Littlewoods catalogue.
One glance around the room and the cause of John's embarrassment is all too clear, but Whitehall rattles through the list of incriminating evidence regardless. Oh, the shame.
I'll do it in my room from now on.
If you would.
Number 7, Reginald Kincaid, Without a Clue.
Straight. It's good to see the department's letting you out at night again.
Michael Caine dons the Deerstalker next to play an actor playing Holmes as part of a ruse to allow Watson to continue solving crimes. And if that sounds a slightly overcomplicated concept, your confusion is nothing compared to Caine's central character.
How many times I've got to tell you to knock? Have you no respect for people's privacy?
Despite Sherlock's reputation for having the most brilliant brain around, this guy's always on the verge of a catastrophic error. And though Ben Kingsley's Watson is a genuinely intelligent chap, and the pair do tend to crack the case, there's a fair bit of farce along the way.
Plate for the Bank of England's £5 note.
Undoubtedly.
Or very good imitations.
Precisely.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Number 6, Sherlock Holmes Sucks at Deduction, The Pete Holmes Show.
That's remarkable. And completely wrong.
Drawing directly from the BBC's Benedict Cumberbatch interpretation of the character, this Pete Holmes sketch swaps Sherlock's unstoppable intelligence for something a little more flawed. Recreating the study in pink scene when the detective first meets Watson, Holmes saunters through a stream of deductions with more than a hint of arrogance, until it's revealed that he's completely wrong.
As you are and have always been a vegetarian.
Nope.
And the more he tries to prove his worth, the more magnificently incompetent he manages to make himself look.
Black!
What?
You are a black man.
Nope.
Black woman?
Really?
Shit.
Number 5, Everyday Genius, the all-new Alexei Sayle show. Fans have long called for a Doctor Who and Holmes crossover, but we've already had one. Kind of.
Getting dark.
My God, Holmes, how did you know?
The mid-90s saw Peter Capaldi score a regular slot on the all-new Alexei Sayle show, almost 20 years before the Scottish actor's turn in the TARDIS. Capaldi plays Holmes for this sketch, opposite Sayle's overly enthusiastic Watson.
Ah, kettle's boiled.
And their crime-solving partnership seems on pretty shaky ground, all thanks to the assistant's dogged determination to state the bleeding obvious.
You knew the kettle was boiling, didn't you? No, I didn't know.
For Sherlock, it's elementary, and it's annoying. Number 4, Basil of Baker Street, the Great Mouse Detective.
Another dead end.
A Disney adaptation of Eve Titus's children's book series, Basil of Baker Street, this mid-80s animated classic reimagines the Sherlock stories with anthropomorphic rats and mice. And the rodent-loaded movie doesn't forget its roots, as the eponymous mouse detective, Basil, is actually named after the English actor Basil Rathbone, who famously played Holmes during the 30s and 40s.
Toby! Sick 'em!
With Dawson doubling as Watson and Rattigan mimicking Moriarty, the key characters are all accounted for, just with cute whiskers and an inherent fear of cats.
There's always a chance, Doctor. As long as one can think.
Number 3, Horny Holmes, the Peter Serafinowicz Show. The legendary detective and Peter Serafinowicz's dulcet tones. Surely that's a match made in heaven.
14th of June, what of it?
A full week after the murder.
Well, not so much for poor Watson. In this scene from the underappreciated sketch show, your typical mystery scene is in place as the duo is set to uncover the truth behind yet another murder. When Holmes gets his eureka moment, he gets a little lost in the moment.
Thank you, Watson.
Not at all.
Remember, Holmes-Watson shippers, be careful what you wish for.
You've done it, Holmes. You've solved the mystery. Ha ha! Oh no, not again.
Number 2, Oklahoma, Unterholdning Savdelingen.
We need to take a taxi. Flesh wounds, the ultimate attention seeker.
Some Scandi spoofing next, as Norway's takes on Holmes and Watson for a surreal series of short clips stacked with innuendo, awkward kissing, and ongoing problems with predictive text.
Damn you, autocorrect.
It's another parody that draws inspiration from Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, as these scenes see Sherlock make sense of a murder mystery by spouting some definitely random words of nonsense.
I'm looking at the back of your head, but I'm speaking to the front of your face. The front of my face is listening to the back of my head, so your head doesn't count.
Playing on the world-famous sleuth's well-worn eccentricities, the game is on, but the rules are anyone's guess.
You concur?
No.
Then you are a bad cookie. Goodbye, Melonhead.
Number 1, the Old Holmes sketch. That Mitchell and Webb look.
I can see from the slight traces of mud on your right trouser leg and the fact that you're holding a bunch of geraniums that you're a retired cavalry officer who's just fallen in love with a Mexican.
As the final act in the final episode of this Mitchell and Webb sketch show, fans of the comedy duo could not have guessed that they'd end it this way. After 4 series of crazy comic carnage, we're met with Mitchell as an aging Holmes and Webb as an attentive Watson.
This calls for disguise!
And though the scene throws some funny moments, the overriding ambience trades humour for heartbreak. Balanced on bleak but perfectly pitched performances by both, it proves a sensational sign-off.
I can't get the fog to clear.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.